All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Welcome to our second and final pre-launch virtual meeting. I'm saying final because the next meeting will be in person. We've scheduled that to happen September 26 to 29 in Bangkok, Thailand, and more information on that a little bit later during this presentation. The purpose of this pre-launch virtual meeting is to get you acquainted with our group, our founders, and for you to meet with our FCL forwarders from all over the world. Today's meeting will last about 45 minutes to 1 hour. So before we start with our program, please be guided also with our house rules for our kickoff meeting. To start the program, we will have a 5-minute community open mic. This is open to everyone. And again, my name is Niels Wally. I'm one of the directors and co-founders, and I will pass on the microphone to my partner, Christian, who's also one of the directors and co-founders, and he will do the community open mic this morning. Hi, Christian.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chris, and welcome to our second Northstar Forwarders virtual pre-launch meeting. I will be hosting the community open mic for the next few minutes, where we get the chance to meet some of the companies that are attending here today. Please do turn on your cameras for this segment. Let me go through the gallery view and call out some names. And when I call out your name, please unmute yourself and give us a short introduction about yourself, where you're from, which company you represent, and how you're doing today. So let me get started with Andrew. Andrew Smithhurst, how are you doing? Can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Christian. I'm Andrew. Currently sat in the UK from Gencar Shipping. I'm doing great today, thank you. I'm looking forward to the next 45 minutes and meeting a few new people and some people that I know already. I don't want to say too much about the company just at the moment because I'm part of the panel, so I'll only be repeating myself with the information twice. But from a personal point of view, very happy to be a member of Northstar and looking forward to finally getting to meet everybody in beautiful Thailand in September next year.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you very much. Let me move on with Mr. Carlos. Carlos from Mexico. How are you doing?
Hello, Christian. I'm fine, thanks. Good evening for all. I'm glad to be part of this network for Northstar. We are CWG Logistics in Mexico, and we are start here, waiting for new friends.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carlos. How about Mr. Raz from Reliance UAE? How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. This is Raz here, Raz Masood from Reliance Freight System, UAE, Dubai. I'm doing good. I hope everyone is good there. And I see some new friends, some old partners, some old friends. So I'm happy to be, in part of this discussion.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Raz, for also attending our panel discussion later on. Let me move on to Mr. Barry Simmons. How are you doing today, Barry? Could you give us a short introduction about yourself and where you're from?
Yeah,
Barry.
yeah. I'm Barry Simons. I'm the sales manager at Gencar Shipping. I'm sat here with Andrew Smithhurst. I'm very new to this, and Andrew sort of guided me through the process, and hopefully I'll get to meet you all very soon and become good friends.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Mr. Youssef Azar, how are you doing? Where are you from? Where are you dialing in from?
I am from Jordan. Hello, dear. How are you?
Good, everything fine.
I am from Jordan, from Eastern Services International Forwarders. This is glad to see you all guys and to be one of this meeting. We are in Jordan since 1982. We are in the industry of ocean freight, air freight, customs clearance, and we have too many offices in Jordan, and we have agents globally. Thank you.
Thank you, Youssef. Thank you for making time for today. How about Miss Myra? How are you doing today, Myra? Could you unmute yourself and give us a short introduction?
Hello, good evening. I am Myra Arias from Mighty Freight International, Manila, Philippines. Good evening from the good morning from the other side of the world. And here in Philippines, little by little, it's getting normal. Hopefully, we'll meet also by our next meeting by next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Myra. Thank you, Myra. So that would be it for our community open mic. Thank you very much. And please allow me to move on to the next segment, which is our network update segment, where you will get to know more about what Northstar has been up to for the past few months and our plans moving forward. David, can you please roll the video? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Northstar team, it is our pleasure to welcome you all to our second pre-launch virtual meeting. After the success of our first pre-launch virtual meeting earlier this year, we have decided to organize another one to reconnect with our founders and to get to meet with FCL forwarders from all over the world that are interested in learning more about the network. So let me jump straight into our conference agenda. What can you expect during our 3-day pre-launch conference? Today, which is day 1, I have the pleasure to present our network updates. After that, we will then move on to a panel discussion segment with some of our founding members, followed by a keynote presentation on logistics dynamics of COVID-19, a follow-up presentation of our first keynote speech, and finally, we will have our closing cocktail. The next 2 days will be dedicated for face-to-face meetings, for which you have already scheduled your meetings through our face-to-face app. Our new face-to-face meeting scheduler is now integrated with Zoom, wherein you can easily set up online meetings with agents whom you have already scheduled your meetings with. Please note that Zoom meetings with your partners starts on November 9 at 8 a.m. Hong Kong time. It is important that you have a Zoom app, as this is where online meetings will be redirected. Please also make sure to accept the meeting requests that you have already received. That is our 3-day agenda. I hope you will enjoy making new friends and find new opportunities in the coming days. For those that were not present in our pre-launch virtual event, I would like to give you a brief information about Northstar Forwarders Alliance. Northstar is a new network brand under the parent company RW Solutions, which is a network management company that was founded in Hong Kong in 2002 and has its operational arm in the Philippines. RW Solutions, meanwhile, has 8 freight forwarding networks that are into industry niches. We believe that networks should be themed according to their handling advantages and interests for members to engage into more meaningful business exchanges with more qualified networking across various brands. At present, we have more than 900 members from 100 countries under the RW umbrella. Northstar is the first network dedicated to FCL Forwarders Worldwide. We currently have 36 founding members and more than 250 interested FCL forwarders representing 72 countries. We believe that it is really important to re-establish networks worldwide to find new ways and partners in coming up with new solutions together. Especially in such volatile times, companies that are active in their markets will benefit from the changes the most. We are glad to see continued interest in the network and really looking forward to our in-person launch meeting next year. During the course of our development phase before our launch, we will be releasing our Founders Agency list every 3 months to keep our community updated. Our agency list is unique. We highlight the relationships of our FCL members with shipping lines. If there are volume deals that fellow Northstar partners have with shipping lines, we showcase this directly on the agency list for other members to be aware of and possibly inquire about. What are the unique opportunities of being part of an FCL network? Alone by being part of Northstar, you will already know that all partners that are part of Northstar are mainly interested in further developing their FCL business. Many times, shipping line relationships alone are not enough to add value for customers to want to do business with you. You might want to use SOC containers for which you need a partner to look for return traffic, or discover a new way of transloading cargo to access and create services with the use of different shipping lines. Are collapsible containers a viable option for port pairs that have imbalance of cargo to reduce repositioning charges? Or find new transshipment ports for your current business. All these opportunities are still to be found together with partners of Northstar by starting a conversation and asking the right questions. We will be launching our Northstar mobile intranet app this month, which provides ease of access and connectivity with members in just a few clicks anytime, anywhere, so watch out for it. For the founders that are here, please note that while you are already a member of the network, we will only start counting your 1-year membership on the day when we have our first in-person meeting next year. This means that being part of the network as early as now gives you free networking value until the launch date. We will continue to have more activities to build our community, and thank you for being part of our journey as early as now. On the side, we've been hosting RW panel discussions inviting freight forwarding friends to join us to talk about relevant topics about the industry. We have already finished 5 panel discussions on different topics. We have also been productive in doing collaborative videos together with Niels and Melvin from Golden Cargo Services regarding the world of independent forwarding and global logistics. In line with that, we want to encourage everyone to like, follow, and show some support to the Freight Guys. You may also be interested to watch a recent video about empty containers. Feel free to go to our Facebook page and watch the video. COVID has certainly impacted our daily lives, but it will not stop us from reaching out to you and continuously looking for new ways to better connect FCL forwarders worldwide. Welcome to Northstar, the first and only FCL Forwarders focused network in the world. We hope you will enjoy the program in the coming days. Let us make new friends, find new opportunities to look forward to in our ever-changing world of logistics. Enjoy the next days of face-to-face meetings. Thank you very much.
All right, great. Thank you, Christian, for this overview and introduction of the Northstar Group. Moving on to our next segment, we will have a panel discussion, and would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you our panel speakers. At first, we have Andrew Smithhurst of Gencar Shipping from the United Kingdom. We have Carlos Figuera of CYG Freight Forwarder joining us from Mexico. And we have Ras Masood of Reliance Freight Systems from the UAE. Good morning from Canada to all of you. I'm very glad to have you with us today, this morning. Thank you for your time. So before we start with a couple of questions, I would like to take this opportunity for you to introduce yourselves. Maybe we could start with Andrew. Please introduce your company and what is your business activity specifically in sea freight.
Okay, thank you, Niels. My name's Andrew Smithhurst. I do know quite a few people already in the network from being in the industry for many, many years. I'm representing Gencar Shipping in the UK. Gencar is a company formed in 1978, so 43 years old, has around 50 employees, and is based in the north of England in a place called Wakefield, which is very close to Leeds. The predominant part of the business for Gencar is FCL business, hence the reason why we've joined Northstar. Mainly an FCL export company. We have 2 warehouses in the UK, Our split of business at the moment is 80% exports and 20% imports. And the main trade lanes are the Far East, Middle East and Indian subcontinent. We also have a car department specializing in FCL exports by car. And we're pleased to say that we are one of the sponsors of the first face-to-face meeting next year in Thailand, with silver package and lanyard sponsorship we've done as Gencar. So we really look forward to attending that meeting. I will be there with Barry, who's with us today, who's the sales manager of Gencar. And yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody in Thailand, meeting face to face and doing some good business within the network.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Andrew. And I'd also like to extend our thanks to Gencar and welcome to the group. And thank you for the sponsorship for the upcoming in-person meeting. We very much look forward to having you there with us. And I'm sure everyone else will also look forward to meeting you there in person. Carlos, could you introduce yourself, please? Please unmute yourself as well. Thank you.
I think I got it. Hello, good evening, Hong Kong. First of all, I would like to thank you, the Northstar team, for inviting me to this discussion panel. A special thanks for Niels, Christian, Mashi, and CJ that they helped me to be with you in this discussion panel. My name is Carlos Figueroa, General Director of CYG Logistics. Our core business is an international freight forwarder, offering the most common service like FCL, LCL, air freight, custom broker, warehouse in the most important cities in Mexico for all the service for import and export. Since the beginning of COVID-19 in Mexico, which was in February 2020, our company dedicates sales to improve and adding new services like quality inspections, advisor office for both import and export. And also we start a business-to-business platform connection between companies for make trading in different countries in Mexico and Latin America. The name of this business-to-business platform is Global Supplier Alliance. Also, we have a product distribution in the Texas area of the United States. Currently, our company has his own office in Laredo, Texas, Ningbo, China, and Mexico, serving any type of mercancy that is required to be imported, exported, or commercialized in Mexico and Latin America. With this brief introduction, I take the opportunity to invite you to join our business-to-business platform, Global Supplier Alliance, which is free, and our main object is to be able to trade in products in Mexico and in Latin America. We currently have a distribution network in each of the countries. As a logistic operator, we add an additional service, earning a certain commission for the sale and manage the logistic of the product that we can commercialize. So if you need more information for Global Supplier Alliance or CYG Logistics, I'm glad to serve you. Thank you, Niels.
Great, fantastic. Thank you, Carlos. Ras, please introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. This is Ras Masood. I'm from Reliance Freight System, Dubai, UAE. We are 25 years old company. I started with only 3 people. Now we have a team of 250 people working with us. We are quite strong in FCL, LCL, air, as well as logistics. We have offices in UAE, Oman, Jordan, and Qatar as well. But our headquarters is in Dubai. So we manage, our FCL, mostly, negotiation with the shipping lines and, contracts from our headquarters in Dubai. Our 70% business is imports and 30% is exports. We are taking quite a good share, we talk about 2020 till 21, as the shipping business is booming. We also take a good share in the market and developing quite well in this trade lane.
Okay. Yes, Ras. Thank you very much for your introduction. Did you want to add anything else to your introduction today, or was that it?
We are also, as a
Ras, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm there. You can hear me? Hello? You can hear?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we are also as not only a freight forwarder, we also deal as a custom clearance agent. We also deal in LCL and other product as well.
Thank you, Roz. I think we've lost Niels actually.
Niels is, yeah. There is a pause.
Okay, so let me just take over this then. David, maybe we can flash on the next question, or the first question actually.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, Niels, go ahead and take over, please.
Yes, I don't know what's happening here with my internet. Anyway, sorry for that. Ras, actually, I wanted to continue with Ras.
Yeah.
If you're able to, how is the current Delta variant actually affecting the reopening of your business, and particularly your economy, your area? Has it any effect at all, actually?
Of course, yeah. As in 2020, it was affected a lot. Nobody knows what is going to happen, in coming month or year. But thinking, the governments of all the areas, even in the UAE also, they take precautions, make sure that we, take the vaccinations quite, soon. Dubai is almost 100% vaccinated. So we are quite well in this way, affected, but not too much. We closed for only short period of time in UAE, but we started, maybe from September onwards in a full flow from 2020 itself, 70% office and 30% home, and then in the next few months in 2021, it is 100% allowed to work from office. Yes, of course there is a problem with maintaining distance and of course wearing masks. This is the only restriction we have.
Okay.
In terms of business, it affected, but there are, and since there is increase in the shipping, booming in the shipping business, we also get out of this some of the good business in the situations. And as under our umbrella, the Freight Summit happened one of the first meeting after COVID. I think so. This is one of the good example that we freight forwarders are there in the market and we can deal with any situations.
Yeah, that's right. I did have the impression that the UAE manages the situation very proactively overall, and let me say the impact on the business of freight was not exactly visible, at least not on the surface of it. So I would say in general, you have done a pretty impressive job at keeping it going for everyone. So thanks, Ras, for that. Carlos, how is the situation for you currently with regards to the variant specifically, and does it have an impact on let me say the reopening?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question. Currently in Mexico and Latin America, we continue suffering the consequence of the first wave of COVID-19. As we know, in previous months, the closure of ports rate with the highest historic levels, lack of containers, lack of personnel in the land area, congested seaports, and there are not enough ships, there are not enough containers, and there are too many delays at the ports to get in and out. This affects logistic chain. In Latin America, we remain the mercy of China. As you know, is the most important country here in Mexico, which has imposed strict rules to control the spread of new waves of the virus. When there are outbreaks in certain places, production is delayed and the delivery time is being extended. Each time a factory closes, each time a port closes, some importer is left without delivery and some consumer is left without their products. So this is a very, very bad news for us. The pandemic, I think, it caused all kinds of imbalance in the supply chain, ranging from a shortage of raw materials. Much of this situation is a hangover from last year. When companies reduced their purchase, when they saw the first lockdowns, many trucking firms also reduced this operation. But when demand resurfaced in many parts of the world, the shipping system wasn't prepared to respond to this resurgence. If we add to the temporary closure of port terminals in China, or the closure of factories in countries such as India, Vietnam, or Bangladesh due to the pandemic, the puzzle is very complicated. I think around 80% of the goods we consume in the world are transported by sea, which is I believe that will really continue until 22. This is, I think, is going to be the most important things in Mexico.
I see. Thank you, Carlos. Andrew, how is the situation in the UK? I see UK actually has done a decent job at reopening as well and vaccinating quite fast. So, is there any immediate effect on the reopening of business with regards to the variants now?
Not really, Neil. So I was talking to Barry earlier about this, and we've obviously gone through various lockdowns like a lot of people, but over the last few months, we had I think it was in July last year, we had what was called Freedom Day. So we have 0 restrictions now. We have no masks, we have no social distancing. So life is almost back to normal. You don't need a COVID certificate to go in a restaurant, a bar, anything. So the whole situation in the UK and certain parts of Europe is very positive at the moment. Obviously, we're not 100% vaccinated like Raz mentioned, but we're almost at 90% now. Most people have had both vaccinations. Older people like me will be having a booster very shortly, so we get a third dose. So we are managing the situation quite well. The number of cases is still quite high. You know, it's averaging about 30,000 per day. So there's still a lot of COVID around in the UK, but I think most people have accepted that we have to accept it's going to be there and carrying on as normal. So as far as the business is concerned, you know, when your question was when it gets back to normal, I would say in Europe at the moment it is almost back to normal.
Right. Yeah. That was my impression when I was in Europe as well. It was good to see, and I was there, or kind of heard about how the UK completely dropped everything and the Freedom Day and everything. It was good to see that a country is taking that step actually forward. It gives us all a little bit more hope, right, for the way forward. Andrew, since I'm with you, how do you manage actually the sea freight space in current times?
Well, again, I had a chat with Barry about this to find out exactly how Gencar are doing this. With 80% of the business being export, we've found that working with certain shipping lines that are good on communication has really helped. He mentioned that WCL, Hamburg, Southern, Maersk are quite easy to deal with in the UK, and people like Hapag, CMA and Evergreen are not as easy to work with. You know, you find very different types of flexibility from the shipping lines. The problem is it still takes 4 times as long to process a booking as it used to before, because none of the lines have space or equipment or availability. So it is difficult. But I suppose in answer to your question, it is to try to have a better relationship and better communication with the shipping lines that are willing to work with you. He did also mention that we think it will get worse before Christmas as the run up to Christmas happens. Right. But generally speaking, the answer to your question is to have good communication with a handful of shipping lines.
All right, thank you, Andrew. And Carlos, how is it with you? I assume it's fairly similar. Is it relationship based with carriers, and do you have a direct line or hotline to carriers where you can, let me say, easily book cargo, or do you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get equipment as well?
Well, here in Mexico is different. Our company made several strategies. The first one, we have given ourselves the task for informing of our clients the worldwide logistics situation, trying to explain the great problem that we are currently facing. The reason of the high rates, and they really understand that even paying a high rate, we can insure the maritime space. So as you know, all the carriers are with extreme rates, and the final client doesn't understand why. If he have the money, but he has no space, so it's very difficult to explain this situation to this client. Another thing we do with some frequently customers, we made an advance booking, in some cases in 2 months in advance. We can insure the space, but we're trying to get a better service for our clients. This is a strategy we can make because we have a good relation with some carriers. As you know, we can pay to get the carriers a protection space. In some cases, the payments don't have a lot of rollovers, but it's the same questions. We can pay the protection, but we don't have the insurance of the space. So it's a very problem with us. The other point we advise our clients so that they can make a LCL freights shipments. Generally offers the advantage, so as a handling a warranty-based lot with facilities to negotiate for a longer rate and validity of the contract. That means many people here in Mexico are promote the LCL service because the sea freights are very, very expensive right now. We need the goods, but we don't have the money to buy it. So we talk with the clients and say, okay, you have these urgent goods, move LCL. We made a contract with the carriers, and we try to protect this kind of business. When I'm personally talk, the best option is talk with each one of the customers and explain the actual situation. Talk with honestly and don't give them a promise that we can handle it. This is my opinion of this kind.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Interesting strategy you're applying there. And Ras, how are you managing space from the UAE, from Dubai?
This is the most difficult question, you know. It is tough, you know. I'm sure everyone is facing the similar problem, tough situations. But as my other distinguished guest mentioned, it's all relationship. Of course, relationship with the guys, shipping guys, we are working for ages with the similar shipping lines. Relationship also, we make sure that we may make an advance booking. We know our sectors, you know, so we make advance booking. And of course, there is a cargo in the market. If you have a space, you can get the business. And also we, as you all know, that there are some of the shipping line are giving spot rates. So we have a team, you know, we rotate the team in, you know, in the shift, which can work from day to in the afternoon or night also, even to try to, you know, book the space with the shipping line whenever it is open with the spot situations as well. So it is tough, but we are trying to, you know, find out the ways. There are ways, there is a key for every lock. So we find out the ways to how to get this done.
I guess flexibility is key there. Yes, thanks.
Flexibility,
Ras.
yes, flexibility is the key, yes. And of course, relationships sometimes paid off. Yeah,
I fully understand. Ras, are you in your team? This is part of the last question. Are you in your team, everyone working back in the office full time, or are there still staff members that are working from home partially? How does it look right now for you?
No, we are 100% in office for last, you know, almost, if you talk about almost 8 months, we are 100% in office. So there is no restriction in Dubai about this situation, but we are geared up. We know in case if, by God forbid, if some situation comes, we know how to manage this, you know, situations. We know which staff is good to work from the back end and which staff is good to work from the office. So we can manage. And as of now in the UAE, Dubai is all 100% in office.
That's great to hear. Thank you. Carlos, how about for you? Are you working from home, or is your office and your staff working, everybody back at the office?
No, well, in the first point of COVID-19 and the few months ago, the last year, many people have a work home office. But right now, we are in the office right now. I saw working home office. It's I think it will be a good one because we saw with our employees when they work in home office, they are good, good work. So I think it's this kind of work, it will be better in some cases. Right now, we are working here in the office because the operation teams, the pricing team are working here in the office. So I think it's better.
Okay, great. And Andrew, I assume for you in the UK, everybody's working back in the office?
They are, Niels, yes. Here at GenCar, everybody's now back in the office. I think your question was, will remote working be, something that happens in the future? I think definitely yes.
Yeah.
From a personal point of view, I was recently in Holland, and the company that I went to meet had lost 10 staff out of the industry due to stress levels, not due to competition or anything. And
Right.
the lady who's running the company just said to me that we will, if somebody now wants to work from home 100%, if we can get those staff, we will take them on. I think generally in the industry, there's a lot of vacancies about. There's not so many good people looking to move jobs because of how COVID's affected things. And of course, there's higher wage demands now. So it's very difficult to get good staff. So I think you have to have a flexible approach. So if you interview somebody and they want to work part-time from home, you have to be a little bit more flexible about it, which would probably have not been considered before COVID. But in answer to your question, 90% of the people are now back in the office.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Ed. It's a good insight. Yes, I agree with you. I think, again, here, flexibility is key if we want to find and attract the right talent. And they're making requests of partially working from home, then this is something we have to consider. And anyway, we've been forced into that situation over the last few months and somewhat proven that it works, that we can make it successful in certain ways. So I'm guessing different countries and different companies will have different approaches to this. But yep, thank you very much, everybody, for your valuable input and for your time today. I will move on now to our next section. It is a short 5 to 8 minute keynote presentation that I have prepared, which discusses the logistics dynamics in the world of COVID-19. It's a follow-up video to our very first keynote presentation that we had during our first virtual meeting. Please roll the video, David. What are the consequences of this pandemic for the logistics industry? Everybody knows COVID has severely changed the way we live, the way we interact with people, and how it is impacting the economy. There are, in addition, a whole set of logistical challenges in the background that people are not aware of yet. Logistics is a $10 trillion industry and employs hundreds of millions of workers worldwide. It is in charge of stocking our supermarket shelves with daily necessities, making sure we get our Amazon orders delivered on time, and providing hospitals with the much needed PPE and medical supplies. Despite extraordinary circumstances, logistics professionals, freight forwarders, and truck drivers from around the world have been working some serious overtime to overcome the enormous difficulties posed by the coronavirus crisis. What are the consequences of this pandemic for the logistics industry? At the start of the pandemic, the sea freight sector dramatically limited the supply of space by using ad hoc cancellations of scheduled services known as blank sailings, much to the frustration of shippers that had loaded up their goods onto containers just to realize they weren't leaving anytime soon. This in turn triggered a huge demand for warehousing space, as those goods packed in containers needed to be stored while waiting for the shipping schedules to resume. Many of us are well aware that the sea freight sector has been hit by a multitude of problems, from the recent Suez Canal blockage to the massive imbalance of container availability and the more recent port congestions as activity resumes. We all know the air freight sector experienced a huge reduction in capacity. belly hold space will remain severely constrained until at least 2024, by when the International Air Transport Association expects a recovery of air travel to pre-virus levels. Ongoing space limitations in air freight means rates will remain high, triggering shifts for alternative modes of transportation. With both sea freight and air freight facing space issues, old traditional transport routes have been revisited and put to the test again. Particularly the Silk Route has boomed from the pandemic experience a 70% increase compared to the year before. However, this alternative only answers to 3% of the space demand between China and Europe. Because of the volatility of international transport modes, shippers and consignees realize that they can't solely rely on the highly vulnerable shipping industry. The key to their sustained business success is to find a right balance between transporting their goods from foreign markets and holding inventory within their local consumer markets. Keeping larger inventory will no longer be perceived as the devil. In fact, many of the finely tuned just-in-time supply chain systems will be replaced with business models incorporating buffer inventories and safety stocks. This will again result in increased demand for warehousing space to store the additional inventory. And because of a volatile long-haul international shipping system, more regional and localized supply chains will emerge from after the pandemic. Instead of shipping from across the world, companies will deliver from a neighboring country or even from the same country itself. The good news is, when products are produced entirely within a single country, the freight is typically touched 8 to 12 times within that country, which is 4 times the quantity compared to the goods being imported. The greatest COVID impact on logistics will come from a move towards a much more regionalized approach, resulting in less miles, but more moves and continuous modal shifts in an effort to adapt, whilst increasing opportunities for warehousing and ground-based road and rail freight transport networks. The logistics industry facilitates global trade and relentlessly serves the needs of business and consumers, constantly connecting supply and demand around the world, and will continue to do so whatever challenges may lie ahead. Okay, thank you for your attention on this short video. In one of our very last short clips to show you for today, we will be presenting a video teaser for our upcoming in-person event. Please mark your calendars for next year, September 26 to 29 in Thailand, Bangkok. I look forward to meeting all of you there, of course, in what will be our very first in-person meeting for the Northstar Group. Okay, this is it for today. Thank you very much for joining us in today's second Northstar virtual conference. I hope you had a great time and you learned something new. To officially end our program, we will also have a very short feedback and comment form, which will be displayed here in your Zoom screen. I hope you could just help us answer a couple of questions there. This is it. Just to remind you that your online face-to-face meetings will start 8 a.m. Hong Kong time on November 10. So please take your time to verify once again your time zone in the scheduler app. You should have your login details for that. And don't miss out on your meetings, of course. and feel free to message us if you're encountering any issues. We will be here to help you. Once again, thank you very much for your time, to all the panel speakers, to everybody that made it out today, and look forward to seeing you in person next year. Thank you very much. Have a great day, rest of day, or end of day, or start of day. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much.